All, myself Rupa D. Srinivas, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Grade College for Women's, Gadag. And today we are going to learn about prepositions. So that I have selected grammar related to letter to his daughter by Mr. Narayana Murthy. Before that, we have to learn what is the definition of prepositions. A preposition is placed before a noun or a pronoun. And in here, preposition is a word that shows the relation between a noun or a pronoun and some other words in a sentences. And in here, prepositions are different shows in different relations. Preposition of place or surface or day or date or purpose or space. For example, the book is on the table. The book is on the table. In here, the preposition is of on and it indicates place. It indicates place. Second one is the students sat on the bench. In here, the preposition is on and it indicates surface. Third one example is she returned on Monday. And in here, the preposition is on and it indicates day or date. We worked for them. In here, the preposition is of for and it indicates purpose. Next one is they live in Mumbai. And in here, the preposition is of in and it indicates large space. Next one is the preposition of time or post or location or target. In here, for example, the function started at 4 p.m. In here, the preposition is of at and it indicates time. Second one example is she buys mangoes at rupees 200 per dozen. In here, the preposition is of at and it indicates cost. Third one example is he was standing at the bus stop. He was standing at the bus stop. In here, the preposition is at and it indicates location. Fourth one example is she aims at IAS. She aims at IAS. In here, the preposition is at and it indicates target. Next one is preposition of direction or action. For example, the children went to the park. In here, the preposition is to and it indicates direction. It indicates direction. Next one example is he worked from morning to evening. He worked from morning to evening. In here, the preposition is of to and it indicates ending point of an action. Ending point of an action. Next one is preposition of show, instrument or togetherness. For example, he walks with stick. He walks with stick. In here, the preposition is of with and it indicates instrument. Instrument. Next one example is she lives with her uncle. She lives with her uncle. In here, the preposition is of with and it indicates togetherness. Togetherness. And next one is preposition of show, distance between two objects. Two objects. In here, for example, birds are flying over the house. In here, preposition is over and it indicates distance between two objects, birds and the house. Next one example is the hat is over his head. The hat is over his head. In here, the preposition is over and it indicates distance between two objects. Third one example is he jumped over the rope. He jumped over the rope. In here, the preposition is over and it indicates distance between two objects. Next one is preposition of refer to only two things or more than two. For example, there is a match between England and Indian cricket teams. There is a match between England and Indian cricket teams. In here, the preposition is between and it indicates only two things, England and Indian cricket teams. Next one example is among all nations, India is the best. Among. In here, this is the preposition and it indicates more than two, all nations, more than two. So that we have to use the preposition is of among. Third one example is I kept the phone between two books. I kept the phone between two books. In here, the preposition is of between and it indicates only two things, So that we have to use the preposition is of between. And fourth one example is I was topper among the 50 students in the class. I was topper among the 50 students in the class. In here, the preposition is of among and it indicates more than two. In the sense 50 students, more than two. Next one is preposition of movement or motion or shape. For example, the cat jumped upon the table. The cat jumped upon the table. In here, the preposition is of upon and it indicates coming with motion. Next one example is the glass broke into two pieces. In here, the preposition is into and it indicates a shape. And third one example is she jumped into the well. In here, the preposition is into and it indicates movement. And in here, next one is preposition of association or cause or separating object. For example, he died of cancer. In here, the preposition of is of and it indicates cause. Next one example, move the cup of the table. In here, the preposition is of and it indicates association. Third one example is he fell off the horse. In here, the preposition is of and it indicates separating one object from another. He fell off the horse. Next one example is take the calendar off the wall. In here, the preposition is of and it indicates separating one object from another. And last one example is the citizens of India have fundamental rights. In here, the preposition is of and it indicates association. And preposition indicating agent or means of transport. For example, the telescope was invented by Galileo. In here, the preposition is of by and it indicates agent. And next one example is they always travel by train. In here, the preposition is by and it indicates means of transport. And next one is preposition indicating starting point and ending point of an action. For example, we have been waiting here since morning. We have been waiting here since morning. In here, the preposition is since and it indicates starting point of an action. Starting point of an action. Second one example is we wait till Monday. In here, the preposition is till. In here, preposition is till, and in here it indicates and in here ending point of an action. Next one example is stay in the office until it is 9 p.m. Stay in the office until it is 9 p.m. In here preposition is until and it indicates ending point of an action. Next one is preposition indicating moving from one end to another end. For example, the girl went across the road. In here, the preposition is across and it indicates moving from one end to other end. Next one example is he is walking across the field. In here, preposition is across and it indicates moving from one end to other end. Next one is preposition indicating by the side of. For example, there is a temple beside our house. In here, preposition is beside and it indicates by the side of. And next one example is she is sitting beside me. In here, preposition is beside and it indicates by the side of. And last one is multiple choice questions. Question number 1. He works dash his family. He works for his family. And second one. She came dash 5 o'clock in the evening. She came at 5 o'clock in the evening. Third one is birds are flying dash the house. Birds are flying over the house. Fourth one is the girl went dash the road. The girl went across the road. And fifth one is stay in the office dash it is 9 p.m. Stay in the office until it is 9 p.m.